Right. Good news, everybody. I'm not gonna do shit about the runes. I did a sort of a approximate calculation. Looked at what we would need to get a soul or a shale rune by gathering up the runes. In order for us to get a single soul, we would need 3 at least. Since we already have one, we would basically be 1/3 of the way there already. We'd still need 2 additional arms, and that's about what's that's about? That's about 50 Ral runes. And we're not even going to get Ral runes every time. It's no way you can guarantee. In order for us to get a shale rune, we can pretty much need about 240 of them. And let's say a positive time scale of 2 minutes per Baroness skill, 1 to 3 runes drop, and with most of the runes not being Ral, even getting a single soul is like a couple of hours of just grinding runes, and that shit ain't worth it. Not even close. I'm not grinding for hours just to get runes or to get an item that we probably don't need anyway. It's in no way worth it, so I'm reporting that. That leads us to a different spot though. We can still find and get them as loot, but I'm definitely not relying on that. You know, the other runes we need are pretty much something we already have. And an Ort, Neth, Ith, maybe. We have Iths. The shale one requires an Ith. And I suppose we could do additional armor ones. So Tal Ith. Thing is, yeah. Oh, I need to get these in a different space here. Point is that with these we can create the items we want if we happen to find the runes. The rest we can just spend however we want, and if we're missing something and I miscalculated something, we can always go and kill the Baroness a few times. However, fire resistance, fire damage, regenerate mana is probably the most useful one. Poison resist, poison damage, mana after each kill. If we're gonna do any kind of grinding, it's definitely just get more Ith wounds. Right. Right. The bigger problem is we are at 29 and we need to level up. Yeah, let's just get on with it. No grinding for us. We'll have to do something about the gambling though. I think we can skip the portal we visited last time. Still gonna fight as much as possible. We do want to level up, so maybe I should go and football again. No, I don't think so. The point would be to grind experience at that point. We'll get to the 30th level. Actually, I hope we'll get there sooner rather than later, but I don't think we have to. Going there would not help us all that much anyway. Right, we're making decent progress here. Nothing amazing, but I don't have to wait a huge amount of time to see some kind of progress on the experience point bar. Full helm is too heavy for us. No, it's not, it's a great helm or whatever. Scale mail. But scale mail is only good for money. I suppose we could gamble on a few items, even if we ignore trying to get finishing up the item sets. That said, it seems to be the best idea. The only downside there is it's slow. And trying to sink 1,000,000 in some kind of a belt or a buckler is just... Ugh. We're talking about at 100 items purchased minimum. It wouldn't take long if I could actually just buy the items, but no. Battle axe. They have some kind of officer here. Arbalest. 2 diamond. Free the soldiers from their prison and lead them back to town. Well, I don't think I have to escort them. Skull. Skull could have some use now. I mean, we could put it, if we don't have the proper runes, we can put it in a helm. It's a decent regenerate mana and replenish life right then and there. Rescue 10 more soldiers in the British Islands. Don't mind if I do. Sharptooth Slayer. Halberd and a crossbow. Nothing good for us. Crap. It's getting a bit messy now. I'm sort of losing control of the fight. It's hard to cast anything anywhere. Okay. Another group of prisoners. Five more soldiers.
Yes?
Yes.
Salutations.
Well, I'm not switching the boots unless I have a get something massively better. These aren't exactly the best boots ever. Don't think we need to take down these, but I might as well. And we missed nothing of importance. Right. So there's probably 3 of these fortresses here, each one contains one of the prisoner groups. That's it. It's more or less what we've seen so far. We can probably reach about the halfway point of our current level. We'll take another area for us to get the level up. Iron Shield. Has to be a paladin item of some sort. Right. Looks like there's another portal area here. Another trip to hell, I guess. Ooh, locked chests. Demon Hide gloves. Should have good armor class, but I'm not sure if it has anything else. Has to have something else. No, god damn it. Teleporting little shits. I hope it's better for a melee guy. I mean, the main reason they're getting away from me is because I'm not hitting them. And I need to hit them so many times before I can take anything out. Melee guy probably has an easier time. Attacks faster, attacks harder. Hits when attacks. So the final fortress. Final prisoners, excellent. Return to Qualkek for your reward. Take it easy. I need to cleanse this place thoroughly. Don't want to lose any valuable experience. Okay. Potentially very interesting. One Oak Sage plus 2 more. Are you fucking kidding me? Well, at least the Oak Sage was on the correct casting tree, so we're making progress here. More is from lycanthropy. Baby steps. We'll get there one. Right. We're definitely reaching the point where I'm thinking that the fissure is... well, it's not terrible. However, the situation is starting to require the volcano more than the fissure at this point. We're over the halfway point at least. Should not even attempt these physical attacks. All it leads to is trouble. Salt helmet. Could be valuable. 1 to iron skin, 1 to increase stamina, 1 to find potion. Probably not too valuable. Not high level abilities. Ha! Set item set cap.
stay a while and listen.
It's probably nothing we're interested in, but you never know.
Rune.
77% extra gold for monsters, 13,000. Okay, let's see our reward. I think this is the 3 rune stones.
Afternoon. Thank you for rescuing my men. They have spoken well of your bravery in battle. Perhaps there is hope for us after all. If you wish, you may hire some of my mercenaries that you saved. And please, take this set of runes. I had been saving them for a socketed shield, but I think you'll make better use of them. Be sure to set them in the right order for their fullest effect.
Right, Port Tal Ral, so nothing special. I don't actually recall the correct order. It's a high resistance shield. Probably better than this. Not a bad option to go with. It's something I won't do now anyway. But it's a viable option at least. Infernal Cranium. Didn't we already have this? Yes, we did. It's a Necromancer item set. That's why I have no interest in it. If we get the rest of the set, we might get skill bonuses for Necromancer, so what fucking good is that for us? I'm not sure what the exact bonuses are, but I think I know they say. Know it enough that we don't want to touch it. Right. Probably end this with 2/3 the way to the next level. I mean this area. I'd like to push to the next level at least. It's such an important thing for us to do. Get the abilities, test them out, and redesign the character based on our experiences. I'd like to try something new. The bear is at least something new, but it has to be new spells. I'm tired of just throwing Fissure and... well, I don't actually mind the volcanoes, but I'd like to replace the Fissure with something else. Just for the sake of changing it to something else, not for any other reason. We have a officer here. Bunnies! Area Plateau. I think this is a waypoint area. Later failed. Requires too much strength. Ghostly Slasher. No, Lasher. Champion Lasher. Heraldic Shield. That's gonna be interesting. Paladin item. And the basic demons are starting to be a bit too much with our current spells. I suppose the balance isn't too bad, because we're pretty much noticing this spot by the time we need to start to move to something new anyway. Okay, I'm guessing the catapults indicate what's the direction of progress into. So this will progress to the northwest. Get rid of the poison anyway.
There is a matter which I hesitate to share, but I believe you are the only one who can help me now. Anya, the young alchemist and daughter to one of our slain elders, has been missing for some time. She is a strong, crafty woman with a spirit like no other. One night, just before your arrival, I overheard her and Nilathak arguing about her father's death. The next morning, she was gone. Nilathak has his own tale as to where she went and why. Don't believe him. I fear he's at the root of her disappearance. Please, if you can, search for Anya and bring her back to us. She'll know what to do about Nilathak.
Look for Anya under the crystalline passage by the frozen river. Yeah, I don't recall her saying that, but I'll take the quest log's word over anyone else's, so at this time it seems to know what's going on better than anyone else. Mana and go away. Need to check the waypoint. Ariat Plateau, definitely. Might as well talk to the you, Nilafa.
Anya, who have you been talking to? Likely it was that meddling Mala. Well, I'll tell you what really happened. Anya came to me for guidance after receiving a vision that her mother and younger brother were trapped in the lands beyond the ice caves. She had decided to go rescue them. I told her that her quest was a foolish one, and that she would be safer staying within the city walls. However, she was a willful girl and would not listen to me. The next morning she was gone. No one is more distraught than I over losing her. However, if you feel the need to be Mala's errand child, I'll try to stop you.
That's a gambling man. Buckler and a belt. Right. Not just any kind of belt. Have that particular joy to look forward to. I'd like to find the waypoint. I would guess it's at the start of this. So we'll have to cut to the northeast and then head south. The direwolves are not really doing all that much to a slayer anymore. They still win the fights, but the damage front we're frankly weak. Do something! And we're winning this, but definitely stalling. I have to switch to the bear. I was thinking originally that we might be able to switch between them as necessary, but it seems like the bear has... It can grow more rapidly than the direwolves. Direwolves aren't going anywhere anymore. With the grizzly gear skills, they might become a little bit better, but fundamentally I think their time's done. There might be certain opponents like bosses where they make more sense because their single unit cannot act as a sufficient distraction. Maybe. And that's a big maybe. At least the possibility is there. I'm not quite sure in which direction this whole thing is supposed to proceed. Sort of seems like it could go to the sides, but at the same time seems to head north quite drastically. I think the areas are just bigger, so because I'm used to the core game areas, it's harder for me to decide what the shape of the land is. Okay. It's easier to ground myself after I've found a few edges. See where it goes. Right, it basically goes north. The way this is looking very good for us, because there's no waypoint here. So by the time we'll find it, we might be very close to getting to the all-important level 30 level up. It would be a great place to end somewhere there. If we need to squeeze a little bit of experience out of something at that point, I'm more than willing to grind that somewhere. Because we're like 150,000 experience points away, and that's something that can easily... A single area of the hill will have more experience than that. Hill might not be a bad idea. When we level up, we need to test it. Okay, we got quite a fight on our hands here. Good, good. I suppose we could do a rune word for a weapon. I mean, we are using this quite a lot now, and this isn't bad, but it's not particularly good either. So any kind of a reasonable one-handed weapon, preferably with at least normal attack speed. I would like it to be higher than that, but normal I think is good enough. Because we're using it as a support, not as a primary way of killing anything. Major problem with the next tier of spells is that they will be expensive. So their spam style spells great, but at the same time the current mana pool and mana recovery is not gonna be enough to maintain them. That's fine. I'd rather have something I can burst to great effect than have something that I simply can't turn my mana into damage and death. $100,000 to go. Some kind of lasher there. Like this. So individually they're not they're top, but they're not deadly. They buff the minor guys to be much more dangerous. Either they boost them or they make them self-destruct. In closer. Another portal. Pit of Asheron. I guess we'll have to visit. There's the waypoint, excellent. So, Pit of Asheron very likely will give us our level 30. Not, doesn't really matter, we're so close to it. We can get it through any means at this point. Okay, what's our opponent? Same crap as always. Overlords. A bit tougher version, I suppose. Night Lords. I'm assuming there's nothing for us here, really. This is again just for a treasure chest. Champion Overlord. Possessed Overlord. It's a bit tougher. It also heals quite a lot. Dual bone cap. And level up. Okay, we'll definitely end things here. Finish this and we'll have to test things out. I won't redesign the character now, but I do want to test it. Test our new abilities. I suppose this is not exactly a bad time to do it. Pull back a little bit. Well, spells. Hurricane is needed for the Armageddon. Give me the Deadly Grizzly. What other spells? Right. Terrible Bear. This is the Hurricane. Moves with me. Lasts how many? 12 seconds. Damage 29 to 59. Oh, what's the development? With the bear, it's 10% extra damage per level, while us, the bear itself, gets a damage boost. How much is that? 17 points minimum damage increased. It's a bit more, 19 with the maximum. Alright. Armageddon. Damage increased significantly with 30 points, 10 points, 10 points average fire. Okay, massive increase in damage. I don't think these are all that cost effective initially, but the mana cost doesn't seem to go up. Full damage goes up a little bit. I need to test this a little bit more. You might be protected by that. Right, so it's sort of a... I don't think this is for us. It just... Because the entire point of this is that we're not gonna get close. This is also raining on top of me. And I shoot it there. No. I don't like either of these. I'm sure the damage is fine, but I'm a support character. I'm not going anywhere near the trouble. So we got the fucking bear. That's what we got. It's not even raining there. I don't like any of these. So Fissure and Volcano are oh fuck me in the ear. If we would have had to build our character to do some kind of weakish melee, and then it could have worked, sure. But how we build things, it's not gonna work, and I have no interest in playing that kind of a character at the moment. So I have to rethink things. I think the important thing to notice is that we've done okay. We don't really need the new abilities. They're more of a I really would have liked something new. That means the entire sort of air cold twister casting tree is totally worthless to us. Because the only reason we took it was to get access to these. I don't like these. Cannot be targeted really. So the Fissure and the Volcano are the only spells I can see being useful. Fissure as a general support spell and Volcano as basically a boss killer. And the bear isn't here, so where the fuck is the bear? See, bear has knockback, that's not good. And it's not really hitting on its own too well. It's doing nice damage, but it simply has problems. It needs the support. It's very tough to take down though. It has massive amount of health. So I guess the question becomes, which way are we gonna go? Are we going to go full in with the summons? Or are we... No. We're not gonna go full in with either. It's... I don't trust this bear to see me through. It's more about where we're gonna spend the extra points we wasted on the air tree. Twisters and stuff. That's about half a dozen points we can basically either reinforce our summons or dump it on Volcano or something. It's not like the abilities are totally unusable or something like that. You can just flap. It does a nice amount of damage. It can be reinforced more, but you have to go next to the target. I like the hurricane, but not for us. As an ability, I have nothing really against. Just type is wrong. This is something you could run around. It doesn't follow me, by the way. Yeah, it sort of does. So it's basically the same spell, but with fire damage instead of cold damage. So lazy. companion does most of the killing now with the bear. He might have been doing that for some time. There's some benefit in splitting the damage between multiple targets, because now if the bear goes against a wrong target, or basically the bear does not tie up the enemy as well as the dire does. I don't see any reason not to spend a point on the bear though. Even if you're not super fan of using it, just 1 point and it's a very different type of support character. If you need durability over numbers, the bear is the better choice. I haven't really seen it taking damage at all. It just stands there and survives no matter what happens. And nothing interesting.
I am overburdened.
Make sure we got the waypoint. So.
Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too. I'll do a couple of things. I'm not redesigning the character now. I'll think about it a little bit and make my choices. At the same time, I'll probably make a new shield for myself. We'll definitely ditch the better chance of getting magical items. Go full with resistances or something, I don't know. We'll gamble, waste our money. So I suppose instead of doing the grinding video, we're gonna do a character redesign gambling one. Might take a long time. I suppose I wouldn't mind a weapon either. It wouldn't have to be a rune weapon or anything, just as much damage as possible. Because we're currently the only interesting thing we have going for us is the cold damage, and it comes from the charms. We don't need any specific weapon to do that. We still have one of the spikes left from the first act of the game. And if we get a 3-socket shield, it's gonna have better resistances than this shield if we add the... We'll get 35% to fire, poison and lightning, and probably something else. Maybe all resistances 35%. We'll have this as backup if something goes wrong, and we have no other use for these runes anyway. So no other plan will be crushed because of that. We could use a better armor too, defense-wise, although it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We could leave strength at 47, maybe get a shittier shield, something that requires less strength, because currently only the weapon and the shield require a strength higher than 30. And we have about 50. That's 20 points we could devote to either life or mana. That serves no purpose right now. So yeah, these are the type of things I need to consider a little bit. It doesn't sound all that much, but 20 points is it's 40 points of life, 40 points of mana. I think mana is the least needed. We could basically build a huge health buffer. Is there a point to that? In some ways, yeah, health buffer is always nice, but mana also, as long as we have that, we don't have to rely on our vitality too much. Thing is, I'm not sure what kind of bosses we're gonna face. Dexterity isn't gonna do anything for us. We can cut strength down too. But after this, there's no going back. Probably can get resistances to full. Right. Spend point doesn't matter now. I redo everything anyway. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And are we gonna spend so many points on fissures and volcanoes? At the minimum we'll have 6 points to spare. That's the least possible. We could probably get more from the summons, especially because the dire wolves only provide life. That's not the problem with the grizzly. If anything, life doesn't really change. It doesn't hit enough and doesn't do enough damage. I'm not using the solar creeper at all, so that's one extra point again. So we'll decide on the bare minimum. Enough summon spirit wolves so we actually have 5 wolves. Although we don't need that, but it does give attack bonuses and defense bonuses, so I don't think that's a wasted thing. We're gonna rely on our summons, we're gonna need that attack bonus. Otherwise, the later ones aren't gonna hit our targets and they're gonna be worthless anyway. Big problem is the volcano. How much am I gonna put points in that? Pushing a few points into fissure would be very valuable too. 7-8 points, yeah. But there's no point thinking about it here. I don't think I can just come to a logical good conclusion. I can't invest more in the grizzly now, so single point will have to do a few additional levels and it'll probably be fairly deadly. But for now, it's okay. And that's it. Just okay. If we would go full on the summoning, it might be a good idea to buff the Heart of Wolverine. More attack and more damage on all summons. This is just 10 extra points of damage per level. This is 7. 7 percentage points. And attack. Right. I'll think of something.